We're just trying to close up the wealth gap. Get to this generational wealth, bet that. We gon' lift off like a jetpack. Time to tune in, not just speaking real facts. Right here is everything you need. This ain't no get rich quick thing. Create your own economy. Cause we ahead of the crypto curve, yeah. Create your own economy. Let's get ahead of the crypto curve, yeah. Learn from the queen of crypto, your host, Najah Roberts, leading people out of financial slavery through Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Ahead of the Crypto Curve, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires, one family at a time, one day at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time. And ladies and gentlemen, that means you. I am your host, Najah Roberts, and it is my mission in life to lead my people out of financial slavery. Today is January 18th, 2023, and on this fabulous day, a cryptopian by the name of Anthony Hale was born. And I just want to say happy birthday to him. And if you'd like a birthday shout out wish, a cryptopian birthday wish, you can send me a text message at 424-317-7373. Again, 424-317-7373. 73, and I will give you a shout out. That's the new thing I'm starting to do, because I tell people happy birthday. I want you to know that you are just as important as everyone else in this world, specifically when we have other individuals that are giving shout outs for their birthdays to celebrities. We are all celebrities in our community, and so I just want to do that for our community, and I love it. So I was really thinking about what I can do as a pledge to my community so that everybody understands that what I am doing and what I'm educating you about is really for everyone and not for my personal gain, is to make sure that our community has what we need. So I came up with an actual pledge. And so I'm going to read my pledge on air today. I'm going to be posting it on social media, putting it everywhere that I can, but I want to make sure that our community understands that I'm here to protect you. I'm here to help you. As I stated before, I'm here to help you zip up your spacesuit as we go to the moon with this new currency. But my quote says, as a crypto educator, I pledge allegiance to protecting my community from the crypto space to the best of my ability. I swear that I will exert my best efforts to cause the community to individually and collectively learn and understand this digital revolution so that they can thrive financially in this life, thus approving and solidifying the financial stability of our community forever. And that is a quote by me, Najah Roberts, and that's my pledge. And I came up with that because, at one time in my life, I just started listening to the Pledge of Allegiance and what I was actually saying in reference to how we were actually being treated. And this was long before, Colin Kaepernick took a knee, which was absolutely what he should have done. I just wish more of us that were on the field stood with him in solidarity from the very beginning. It would have sent a major, major message. But anyway, I am pledging allegiance to my community all across this world, all across this United States, all across Los Angeles, and everywhere else, just to make sure that you all have the best information. And so as we move into our crypto conversation today, we're going to do a quick market update because we've got a lot to talk about. And we're going to just really look at the update over the last hour. And I'll tell you what's happened, the reason why Bitcoin actually dropped about 2% in the last 24 hours. But right now, Bitcoin is trading at $20,768. It's down in the last hour, 0.6 0%. In the last 24 hours, it's down 2.6%. In the last 7 days, it's still up 18.30%. Ethereum is doing the same thing. It's literally at $1,525 right now. It's down in the last hour 1.1%. And in the last 24 hours, it's down 3.7%. But in the last 7 days, it's up 13.56%. And so the cryptos are actually following the United States stock prices and the action that is erasing some of the gains as the investors weigh in on the outlook from the economic growth after the data that shows a drop in retail sales and slowing of inflation, bolstering the case for the Federal Reserve to downshift its tightening policy. Now, we'll see if they do that, but we don't know exactly what they're going to do. But we are going to keep our eyes peeled, and we're going to, again, continue to set our plan in motion so that we can be all that we can be in our financial lives and enjoy life here on earth as well as in the hereafter, because we know we're looking forward to that as well. But right here on earth, we need to have the monies that we need to give us the options to help our family, to help our community, to help whoever we want to. And so we're just going to continue to push. We're going to continue to strive. And I'm going to continue to give you information that you need to make the best decision. Because when you know better, you do better. And so when we come forward, we are going to continue talking about some of the things that are happening as in these cycles. And so we're going to talk about that second cycle that I alluded to a couple of days ago. And that second cycle is and has all to do with our economic stability and everything that we need to know. So when we come forward, this is KBLA Talk 1580. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am hacking away over here at what I need to say today because I got a lot to try to cover in this short time. Thank you for rocking with me, y'all. I know we got a couple of folks that are listening in. Dr. Veronica, thank you for supporting. I appreciate you so much. I'm trying to type to Dr. Veronica. Back in 30, everybody. We're going to jump back in and get this thing going. Get some of this stuff off our screen. All right, welcome forward. So, just as I promised, we're going to continue going through these different types of cycles that we see in different markets and different sectors of our world, but they're all converging as at once, and they're going to create a perfect storm for this new economy. And so, ironically, today's cycle, ladies and gentlemen, is the new economy. It is one of the most important financial planning cycles of your life. You know, Harry S. Truman said it's a recession when your neighbor loses his job, but it's a depression when you lose your own. And so I want to make sure that we're not losing jobs, we're not losing money, and we understand the cycle that we're in. So if you know the cycle that you're in, you can make the most effective decisions out there, and you can anticipate instead of react. And we in our community are always reactive. Something happens and we have to react. But how about one time we are actually anticipating what's coming down the pipe so we don't have to react? We can just kick back because we are ahead of that cycle. Well, the new economy cycle again is very important, and I've been trying to get a handle on the economy so that you all just know what to expect. I know what to expect, trying to figure out what the best moves are, what we need to be doing. But the new economy cycle is apparently one of the most financial important planning cycles for your life, your investments, and your business. It's less about the day to day decisions, it's more about the big structural decisions that you make in your life, such as where to live. And we've made a big decision about where we're living right now. A hard decision, actually, because I love Los Angeles, but that's neither here nor there. But you got to make big decisions because this is a critical time in history. So, again, you got to make decisions about where to live, what's most economical, what's going to take you the furthest, what jobs to actually do or take if you're an entrepreneur. What opportunities do you get involved in? What do you put your name up against or along with? And so, got to be very careful these days who you refer people to, who you get in business with, because it can come back to bite you. And what to learn in school for our youngsters. We don't know, they don't know what the future looks like, but we definitely know it's in technology. And so, whatever they're learning in school, it's got to be enhanced by technology. So, all of those things are important. But the new economy cycle is actually 80 years, ladies and gentlemen. 80 years. So, just so you know, historically, economy cycles are typically between 58 and 60 years. During the cycle, the economy moves through 4 seasons. And at a high level, the overall cycle starts with innovation in key niches. Gradually, the changes move into mainstream, and then there's a growth boom. So I need you to kind of follow me as we're talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a key niche. It's following the right cycle. So I need you to hear me. Following the right cycle. So it's a key niche right now. Not a lot of people know about it. You're learning about it. People are trying to figure out what it is, but it changes and moves to mainstream. We're not at mainstream yet, ladies and gentlemen. So you are still ahead of the curve. So we haven't moved to mainstream yet. But then after mainstream, there's a growth boom. And so what I'm banking on is that after it comes to mainstream and then it gets to growth boom, we will already have stacked enough Satoshis to make a significant difference in our community. Next, there's a shakeout, which is an extreme downturn in economic correction. And we're experiencing that right now. Unfortunately, we haven't got to mainstream and growth boom yet, but there's always a downturn and an economic correction. But finally, there's a maturity stage where prices actually stabilize. I think that we're a long ways away from that. In fact, I think that my grandchildren will be the one to see the cryptocurrency price stabilization. But with that being said, there's a book that I want everybody to read for those of you that like to read. It's called The Great Depression Ahead: How to Prosper in the Crash Following the Greatest Boom in History. And so there's just a lot of different things that you can read on to hear about this 80-year economic cycle. And this is a new economy cycle. So whether or not predictions are right, whether or not I'm right, I am looking at the big picture. I see that digital currency is the way we're going. The one digital currency will have a different type of technology than all the other cryptocurrencies out there, the central bank digital currencies that are coming out. There can be more than one digital currency, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm making sure that you understand, just like right now, there's different types of currency. You can go, of course, the United States dollars is used in a lot of places, but also there's the yen and there's just all the naira, there's just all types of other cryptocurrencies. And it's going to be, I mean, there's all other currencies in throughout other countries, but there's going to be cryptocurrencies doing the exact same thing. But there's always one staple that people fall back on all the time, and right now it's gold. It's a precious metal, but there's going to be a precious cryptocurrency too called Bitcoin, in my opinion, that people are going to fall back on, and everything is going to be centered around in the very near future. So you can lose a lot of money in the downturn, which each and every one of you know, but there's always an upswing. And I've listened to several millionaires that state that massive amounts of wealth are created in a depression or in a downturn. And I started really listening in because I'm like, how can this be? But what I'm hearing and what I know and what I've come to realize in this money space is that the money is still out there. It just changes hands. It goes from one family to the next family. That family either holds on to it or grows on top of it, but that money still stays in the entire ecosystem. So money's not and has not disappeared. It's just changed hands, and it's out of our hands because we've been the number one consumers. So the seasons of the economy are largely predictable. Our economy, stocks, bonds, real estate, and commodities actually follow longer term seasons with regularity, even though economists, politicians, and business and investors don't really see it that way. Well, I really feel like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically, is a longer term thing as well. And it's going to be placed in that bucket of longer term seasons as we move forward. And I'm going to continue to make sure that we're always looking at this long term, not short term. This ain't no get rich quick scheme. So the song says it best. So thousands of years ago, we actually learned how to chart and predict annual weather seasons. So right now, and I just cannot tell you how ecstatic I am that the weather person actually gets it right now. When I was younger, and I hate to date myself because it wasn't so much longer, but they used to tell us it was going to be sunny and we were going to have a great day, and then we would dress in shorts and flip-flops if we were permitted to wear flip-flops that particular day to school. We get there and it would rain. So the weatherman wasn't always accurate. But right now they can say it's going to rain at 2:33, and ladies and gentlemen, in the area they stated, it is going to be raining at that particular time. And so all of these things are predictable. But guess what? A lot of the economists are sharing that now some of these new economy cycles are actually predictable. Even before all of the different things that were used to track the weather and things of that sort, they used to track migration cycles for animals. We knew that birds fly south for the winter. And so there's a lot of different things that are cyclic, that are in cycles that we have to understand. So again, money is no different. So we got animals and the make of clothes, the store food in preparation for the winter. When we were actually hunting and gathering, We knew exactly what we needed to do at what particular season in order to make sure that we made it for the next season. So, money, ladies and gentlemen, is no different. We've got to get through this season, store up what we need so those next seasons that are coming, we actually don't have to react. We can be ready. So, the most remarkable insight in modern times is the unprecedented scientific advances and expanded predictability in almost all areas in the economy. Politicians, businesses, and investors don't see clear seasons and cycles for our economy, but they should. Even though they follow similar long-term seasons with just what they're looking at with their charts and things of that sort. So the new economy cycle is now 80 years. In our lifetime, this new economy cycle has developed, and we're taking a look at it. Again, we're going back to the mid 1900s and taking a look at that last cycle, but then we're looking that cycles last about 58 to 60 years. If you look at a quote from Nipsey Hussle, he stated that every single country that has moved to fiat currency within 50 years, their economy collapsed. That's that 50, 58, 60 years that we're talking about. So we're well overdue for this economic collapse or whatever is about to happen because it's cycles. Everything goes in cycles. And so we're taking a look at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, some of the things that I really want you to understand as we take a look at how money is changing, what these different organizations are now coming in to do to get in control, to have control of the money. Again, non-governmental organizations, NGOs. We got to know that they're looking at these cycles too, and that they understand that the economy is largely predictable. And we're predictable. They know exactly what we're going to do. And a lot of the times, I just want to almost scream because I know because they study us, that our cycle of disruption has to do with something taking place. We're reactive. And when we react, we come out, we march, we kick, we scream, we do all these things. And just give us a couple of days and we just kind of disappear into the concrete and you never hear anything else. People don't continuously stay on top of those things that we were screaming and crying and marching for. And case in point, the millions of dollars that was supposed to be given to the community to help with financial inclusion, just inclusion in general. There's millions of dollars out there, ladies and gentlemen, that have not been given to the people it was supposed to get to because nobody was staying on top of these companies to make good their promises. So I want us to think in terms of four seasons. The four seasons are innovation season, growth boom season, shakeout season, and maturity boom seasons. And so when we get into that, the innovation season is where radical new technologies and products first move into the niche markets. That's where we sit right now, ladies and gentlemen, in this cryptocurrency space. This is a new innovative thing that is a niche market. There's not a lot of people talking about it. Nobody really knows, but it's also where the risk is involved at the peak of risk. Then we're going to have a growth boom, and hopefully we'll see that in the next 5 to 10 years. And that follows the innovation season that we're in. But it's the innovation generation that grows up and learns to spend more money and spend money in that innovation. So that's going to bring the technology into the mainstream. So people are going to be using cryptocurrencies more than not. And so the shakeout season is where deflation and depression sets in. So even though this cryptocurrency space is coming along, there's going to be a time after mainstream hits and everybody is utilizing it, that there's going to be a shakeout season because they're going to have to figure out a way to try to get you away from the decentralized currencies into their new central digital currency. So that's coming. And since we know it's coming, we know how to prepare. And then the maturity boom is going to happen. And that's where the economy becomes fully saturated with the new technology, with all these new cryptocurrencies and all this stuff that's happening. And this will trigger the next radical innovation and inflation cycle. And again, inflation, in my opinion, I call it humble way to explain things. Inflation is a way to extract more funds out of your bank account into the hands of the individuals that need to figure out how to redistribute it. So if you're paying more for an item, they're taking possibly your Bitcoin because the price is high on whatever you're buying. They're taking that Bitcoin and then they're tabling it or doing whatever they're doing to make sure that they're pushing their CBDC out into the community. It's going to happen. It definitely is going to happen. And missing these changes, ladies and gentlemen, in the seasons can be devastating. But guess what? We're not missing this boat. If you don't know when you're in a downtrend, you can be swimming upstream against the current instead of riding a wave. And so basically in this new economic cycle, we have got to really open our eyes and ears and mind to something that we've never really understood or never had an opportunity to understand because it's so new and didn't exist past 14 years ago. So the middle class population has moved from the industrial revolution, in my opinion, to the digital revolution. And this new economy cycle that we are going to embark upon, our community is going to be ready for this boom. And I'm excited about it. I am looking forward to continuing to share with you what these different cycles are. I got one more cycle to bring to you all tomorrow so that you understand these cycles and that you're paying attention now a little bit more than you have in the past. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we learn more about how money works, how cycles work, and all of those things, we're going to get deeper into this cryptocurrency space. But when we come forward after news, traffic, and sports, we will continue this life altering information. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes. And so if you all have any ideas, if anybody is listening, anybody has any sponsors or anybody that you think would be interested in pushing or talking about or having a commercial during Ahead of the Crypto Curve, please feel free to reach out to us. You can send us an email at info at Najah Roberts. Info at Najah Roberts. I can't see and type at the same time. If you would like to sponsor, or if you have anyone that you think would like to sponsor, or if you have any ideas about what we could do for commercials, because I am wanting to do something fun, not just people listening in. Maybe we have some actors and actresses. I'm just really saying that the sky is the limit for what we can do. So I want to thank you for listening in on Ahead of the Crypto Curve. Please download the app. You can go to your app store and download the KBLA Talk 1580 app, and really just really listen in no matter where you are. I am out next week on a working trip and I'll be sharing some things, but sharing things about where we are located next week. We're taking the whole family on this working trip. So I am excited about that. And I sure appreciate each and every one of you. So we're going to keep this thing going. Keep it going. So I was looking at this Department of Justice video. It's about 5 minutes long. And so I'm looking at charges that they filed against another exchange owner. So, this is something that we always have to take a look at and listen to. So, interesting, interesting, interesting. So, I am excited about that. So, we are going to be talking about that in just a little bit because we finished talking about that cycle. So, we'll jump into that. Let me see. CoinDesk is the place that I get some news from. They've got some great stuff. We got 3 minutes before we come back here. Got to talk to my engineer at the station. See if I'm coming out at 48 or 44, because I think I messed that up last time. Miles, can you hear me? I got to find that. Hold on, you all. 1 second. We're coming back live in just about 2 minutes. All right, I'm back in 30 seconds. I'm out at 45. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome forward. Welcome forward. We are jumping into our cryptocurrency news for the day. We've got some major news out of the Department of Justice. So I'm going to start with that because when I saw this, it literally sent chill bumps through my body because everybody is waiting on some sort of directive from the Department of Justice. But today at 12 noon Eastern, the Department of Justice actually had a press conference and they are announcing, or they announced that they are working very hard to, first of all, get nefarious people out of the cryptocurrency space, which is great. But overnight, the Department of Justice worked with key partners to disrupt a cryptocurrency exchange called Bits Lotto. And Bits Lotto was a Chinese based money laundering engine that fueled high tech access for crypto crime. Now, I know when you listen to the radio, when you listen to the news, they're making it sound like cryptocurrency is the only thing that criminals and thieves use. That is absolutely not so. And so, taking a look at that, unfortunately, these gentlemen that ran this cryptocurrency exchange were abusing the financial system and they were laundering money, probably for the wars and several other things on the dark web. And there's a lot of black market things that are going on, and it has all to do with money too, not just cryptocurrency. But the United States government regulators have been cracking down on the cryptocurrency space. Coinbase, one of the most popular cryptocurrency exchange, was just fined 50 million by the state of New York regulators for failing to conduct adequate background checks, according to that government filing. And so just so you know, at Crypto Blockchain Plug, our exchange right in Inglewood, California, we literally, ladies and gentlemen, do KYCs, which is know your customer, and we're making sure we're in compliance, not because they asked us to, but because we know that we have to do everything we should do, dot our I's, cross our T's, so we don't have any issues, because people in other countries and other nationalities get away with things, but we know that they're looking. And even when if they weren't looking, we would be doing the right thing. So we don't have that issue, but we definitely want to make sure that we're always staying on top of what the Department of Justice is actually doing. And they have a special division that is going to be continuing to deal with some of these individuals in the cryptocurrency space that are doing nefarious things. And they also are expecting another press conference from the Treasury Department, I think, with some more rules and regulation. And so we're ready for whatever we need to do to stay in business, to give access to our community. That's what we're willing to do. And so we're going to leave no stone unturned. We're going to give access to everyone, not just people that have bank accounts, because people that don't have bank accounts are supposed to be able to participate in the cryptocurrency space. That's the ethos behind Bitcoin in the first place, is to help the underserved and the unbanked get into a financial position that no one else controls. And so we're going to continue to push in that way to make sure that our community has access. Also in Davos, some of you have heard of Davos, DAVOS. And some of you haven't heard of Davos, but there's an estimate of about 500 companies that attended Davos, which is where the World Economic Forum event is, in Davos, Switzerland. And technology companies and startups all come there together, just really talking and collaborating and seeing what they need to do to take their businesses to the next level, to look for investors and all sorts of things. The showcases that happen there are blockchain technology, so they're talking about cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, robotics, 3D printing, and internet things, the things of the internet. You'll hear that or see that when you're reading. It says IoT, that's Internet of Things, offering a taste of the latest and greatest to come. That's what Davos is all about in Switzerland. So I hope one day to be on a panel in Davos, Switzerland, talking about how we were able to create and be the change we wanted to see in the technology blockchain sector for our community, because we're building Silicon hoods. I tell it everybody all the time, not Silicon Beach, not Silicon Valley, Silicon hoods. And we will be in Davos, and they're going to they're going to try to figure out how in the world our community pulled ourselves up by our own bootstraps, not asking for reparations, because we're creating our own reparations, or that's what I feel like I'm creating. And I know they owe us, but I'm just saying, we're creating what we need for our reparations. And so as we move into understanding some of the topics and the things that happen, I'm going to bring some of those things back, because what we are looking at right now, even when we're talking about the Department of Justice, when you listen to the young lady who spoke, talk about the charges that were being brought against that specific exchange, she used the words, we're going to use all the tools necessary to bring people to justice. Well, that tool, ladies and gentlemen, in the cryptocurrency space that they told you was so nefarious and that monies couldn't be traced, was absolutely not the truth. I don't know if I need you all to go back into your memory, but they said to us that you could not trace cryptocurrency, and that is the furthest from the truth that it could have ever said. And so the young lady admitted that they're using the best tool. Well, the tool is the blockchain because you can see when it moved and where it moved. And 9 times out of 10, one of those criminals who is working so very hard will make one or two mistakes, and that will bring those authorities to the doorsteps of who they are and what crimes they've committed because everything is on the blockchain. That's incredible. That is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. When I have fiat money, those dollars that we hold in our pocket, if I create a crime and I give that money to someone, they will never, ever in their bald headed lives track where that money went, specifically, unless I'm doing it from bank account to bank account. But if I just have cash, there's no way they can trace it. So, again, the technology behind Bitcoin, behind cryptocurrency, is critically important to the infrastructure of accountability and being able to track, which they want to do anyway. So, traceability using the blockchain is where everyone is going. Voting, they're going to be using the blockchain because it's not change. Well, I won't say they can't change it because if they create the blockchain, they can change it. So I'll get off that boat because that's not going to work out. If they're still being corrupt in the political arena. But nevertheless, we are looking forward to a lot of great decentralized finance, a lot of great traceability utilizing the blockchain, and we're just looking forward to all the things to come. But because they're in and at Davos, and this is the main conversation on everybody's tongue, that's cryptocurrency, we're in a good space, ladies and gentlemen. And so I just continue to say to each and every one of you, we're ahead of the crypto curve, but we are ahead of technology right now. We are just at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the innovation stage. We're not yet at mass adoption. So take advantage of these times. So when we come forward, we will jump into our segment called Ask Najah Roberts. When we come forward, this is KBLA Talk 1580. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head into our next segment. I was trying to find out if we had anything for Ask Najah Roberts, and I don't see anything. So we're going to go over 55. All right, I'm back in 1 minute, y'all. All right, let's see here. right, welcome forward. So we are at the segment called Ask Najah Roberts. And again, you can go to najahroberts.com and you can literally go ahead and find the section that says Ask Najah Roberts. You can click on it. You can ask me any question that you want. I will answer it live on the air. And if you want to know how to get your birthday shout out for your birthday to all of my cryptopians, those are listening, you can go to 424-317-7373. Again, 424-317-7373. And you can send me a text message. And once you do that, it's going to ask you for your name and your birthday. And I'll have that information to actually put out on the radio to give you a shout out on your birthday. So that's how that's going to work. And so someone was asking me about the plan that we're going to use to succeed. And there's a couple of parts to the plan, and the plan will be laid out over the next couple of weeks. We got to make sure that we get it all in, because you got to know the foundation, why we're doing what we're doing. And so I'm going to roll out the plan slowly but surely. One of the parts of the plan is dollar cost averaging. That's not going to change. And then there's going to be an opportunity for you and your business, whether you're an old business or a new business, to make huge profits on some of the things that you're going to be doing to make sure, and not just in the cryptocurrency space. We're going to be looking at all of the emerging technologies and some of the things that are coming down the pipe that we can actually benefit from. And so I'll be bringing those things up so you all know about it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor on purpose providing any financial advice, but rather giving you the information you need so that you can make the best decisions for your family. So I really would like to help you change how you think, or what you should be thinking about your investments. And so we're going to work on that as well. That's critically important. And we are all going to bring about a change in our world and our future generations, because we are going to apply the knowledge. And so we always hear this quote, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody asked me what I thought about saying knowledge is power. Well, knowledge is absolutely not power. Applied knowledge is power. You can know all you want to know and sit in the house and help nobody. You don't help yourself. You don't help the community. You don't help anybody. You don't help your kids if you just have the knowledge. But it's not until you give that information to your children, or you utilize the knowledge yourself, or you give it that information or that knowledge to your church family or your community, that it becomes effective, something that you can utilize. And so knowledge is not power until you apply it. So I want to make sure that we are applying each and everything that we're learning, that we're paying attention, that we're paying closer attention to the things that we're learning here on the Midday Money Chain, because it's critically important. So ladies and gentlemen, you can also go to the virtual underground railroad.io, the virtual underground railroad.io. I'm just so excited about that platform, because that's where I'm posting charts that you can't see obviously on the radio. I'm posting videos like today's Department of Justice video will be on there for you to be able to watch and hear what they're saying about the cryptocurrency space, because we've got to learn these things. We've got to understand what our policymakers are thinking, how they're trying to react or interact with cryptocurrency. And so that you won't be so frightened that somebody is coming up with some sort of policy that you sell off your Bitcoin prematurely. You need to understand that this is where we're going. So if this is where we're going, why would you sell so early? The value is still not where it's going to be. And so you get that type of posture, you get that type of surety. You are comfortable in your skin. You sleep well at night because you understand more and more what they're thinking and what you need to be doing day in and day out, staying consistent with learning and stacking Satoshis. Learning and stacking Satoshis. I was earlier today on a call where they asked me, hey, we're making this video for you, and we want to know all the cryptocurrencies that you would like to put into your video. And I said, well, I only want you to put Bitcoin on there. And they're like, well, there's like 5 or 6 other cryptocurrencies that my team is saying you need to put in there. And I'm like, no, we are putting Bitcoin in there. I will talk about other cryptocurrencies if we need to, but I never want the message to be that you need to be deeply involved in anything other than the staple currency, that foundational currency. The difference between a brick foundation, a straw foundation, and what else did the little rare the 3 bears built their house with? Sticks, straw, and then they use brick. So we don't want any of those other cryptocurrencies that are the sticks and the straw. We want the brick foundation. Now, again, I support lots of other coins that are doing something phenomenal in the Black and brown community. I support them. So I do have them. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're on the brick side, but they're more or less on the stick side. And you know that you build the outside of the foundation with brick, but you can also use some stick because that's in between where the drywall and the insulation needs to go, the stick, the wood. And so we have some of those cryptocurrencies as well. But as we're building our empire, as I'm building my empire, I can't speak for you. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I can say my foundation is built on nothing less than Bitcoin as it relates to the cryptocurrency side of my portfolio. This, again, is just you adding a little bit of Bitcoin to your portfolio when you see the need, when you feel like you have $6 or $12 or $100, $10,000. I don't know. Somebody just sent us somebody that is working with our exchange that has gotten KYC, decided that they wanted to invest couple $100,000 in Bitcoin. They can afford to lose that. They're not going to bust a sweat if something happens with that, but they're believing in the technology. And so they sent it over. We're going to give them their Bitcoin immediately once those funds reach our account. We give them their Bitcoin to allow them to hold it themselves and become self-sovereign. That's what this space is all about. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we're going to jump in to the dollar cost averaging section of our Ahead of the Crypto Curve. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right, I think I did it right there. Yeah. So we are, let me put this on another day. All right. All right, there's a Chase commercial on right now. But we're going to have our little commercials. We're getting it together, but I appreciate each and every one of you again holding while I get my stuff together on this radio. We are all right. Got about 30 seconds. We're almost done with our show today. All right, we are getting back up here. Got about 60 seconds. We're coming back in. Trying to write down information that they're saying. All right, welcome forward, welcome forward. It is time for us to do our daily dollar cost average. As you know, I do it every day live on air. I buy $6 worth of Satoshis. A Satoshi is the smallest increment of a Bitcoin. And we do it on the Black Wall Street wallet. A DCA a day keeps poverty away. So let's take out that wallet and we're going to click on the purple circle in the middle and we're going to click on buy Bitcoin. We're going to do it one time. You can set this up and forget it, but we're going to do it one time and click continue. I'm putting it in my KBLA Talk 1580 wallet that is compartmentalized inside of the Black Wall Street wallet. And that's all it takes, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to do this manually, again, you can set it up and forget it. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't touch that dial. It's time for the DL Hughley Show, and we've got to make way. I want to thank each and every one of you for rocking with me today, your host, Najah Roberts, on Ahead of the Crypto Curve, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires one day at a time, one family at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time. And ladies and gentlemen, that means you.
You're listening to Najah Roberts on Ahead of the Crypto Curve. Please follow her on all social media platforms at Najah Roberts. No underscores, no dots, no numbers, just Najah Roberts. Let's close the wealth gap. It's our turn. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Learn or get left behind. Create your own economy. Let's get ahead of the crypto curve.